when we saw how integral the line-out was to a lot of that, and you're going to look at the Racing line-out as well. Obviously, they put the heebie-jeebies up. No, Scannell and Munster the last day. Munster kind of unravelled, but a lot of that was down to Racing's fine work. And I know there was some talk from Munster during the week that it doesn't matter that Donegal Ryan has been in this lineup before.
Yes, it does.
It'd be reticent. Yeah, we'd be reticent to change too much. Maybe they should have changed some of it.
Yeah.
But Racing, generally speaking, are very strong in that area of the field.
Yeah. To be fair to Racing, also when he didn't play, now I would imagine he completely prepped him. That match he missed with his neck injury back in Tone Park. They also did an unbelievable job on the Munster line-out. But again, we can get a couple of their stats up. They've on the opposition throw, they've had 18% success rate, so either win or spoiling it, winning a penalty. I think only Harlequins, which is a weird outlier, have had a higher percentage of 22%. 12 outright steals, which is more than anyone. And they've got a load of different guys who can go up. Nakarawa with 3, Laurie with 3, Shuzanu, who comes off the bench with 3 steals as well. So I think that's the key. They've got a lot of explosive athletes, guys who read the line out well as individuals.
And they're easy to get up.
Yeah, they're springy.
Like the reason O'Mahony is probably one of the best line-out defenders in the world, Peter O'Mahony, is that he's very easy to get in the air because he's light and he's a good spring in his step, but he's also very smart. He makes a good read. He puts himself in position, then he's up. And like he stole the last ball of the game against Edinburgh last week. Well, for some reason Edinburgh threw the ball where Peter O'Mahony was the last place to throw the ball against Munster, and that cost him the potential of the game. But the same with that line-out is that Racing have that ability. They've quick on the ground, quick in the air, and if they make a smart read, it puts massive pressure on the hooker. Massive. Yeah, in fairness to O'Mahony, I think he had 6 steals in the Champions Cup, so he's top of the charts. But they've got spread across their line out, and we want to look at a couple of examples from the Munster game. I'd be interested in Eddie's thoughts on this first one. I don't know if people remember this, but like they talked up the Racing line out all week. Johan van Kraan was talking about them being the second best defensive line out, man marking style after the All Blacks. And even when they went to the U Arena, the first line out they overthrew deliberately to Rory Scanlon and kind of botched that one, but it was clearly in their heads. Like when someone's so strong in an area, sometimes it makes sense to try and negate it by completely avoiding it. But I don't know if that mindset kind of crept in a little bit too much. This is the first line out of the game, less than a minute in, and you want to really set a platform and get that good start, even if it means going through phases, try to win a penalty, kick for territory. And you see it here, they've shortened the numbers, Munster, but they've Nakarawa, Ryan and Nyanga there, and Laurie can come in there, LaRue can come in there against Leinster, so they've got a lot of options. And O'Mahony moves to the front there, you see him, a little dummy jump, and he steps out of the pod, little throw to the front where there's no lift, and they go straight back to it. Now, it nearly did work out, but Scannell, we're going to see from the reverse angle, just puts his foot into touch, a little bit sloppy. What did you think as a coach, Eddie, as a kind of strategic thing in the first minute? It's not a bad play, actually. It's not a bad play at all. I think it's just the wrong part of the field. To me, that's what I call a power play, where if it works, you're looking to score. Right. So, by and large, a lot of power plays in those situations should come in that deep green, like 5, 6, 7, 8 metres from the goal line, where they might be expecting a drive. Now, if you do that 5 or 6 metres out, he's a chance of scoring. Forget he put his foot in touch. That's it, he doesn't put his foot in touch. It's a 1-on-1 5 metres out, and maybe he drops his shoulder and scores. Yeah. Now, in fairness, Racing did deal well with it. But to run it here, best case scenario here is Scannell gets tackled here.
National recovers,
Yeah, it gets tackled here, and they play from a ruck on the touchline. I think just the wrong place to use it. Just should have. That's something you put out of your pocket, very close to the goal line, and if it works, you'll probably score. But if it works 15, 20, 30 metres out, you're not going to score. Yeah, you've still got to go and play out of it, and you would have been better off taking it off the top, sticking somebody over the gain line at 10, 12, and going to play some phases, build some pressure, maybe nick a penalty. Instead, the next time they have a line out down there, Racing are watching for that. Yeah,
like in fairness, Munster did actually try a trick play at the line out where Murray went in the front. They threw down to middle, but Ryan read it brilliantly.
It's only a trick if some people haven't seen it before.
Yeah, and Ryan probably made that one up.
Conor Murray's won more line-up ball this year than a lot of the other forwards. Like he's been used an awful lot, which is fine. But like, it's only a trick if they buy into it. But I guarantee you, the minute they saw Murray in the line, they knew there was something up.
Yeah, Ryan did. We want to just look at a couple of the other kind of failings from Munster. They're 24-3 down now, but still 30 minutes in, good chance to launch. And the one we want to pick out here is Camille Shad. He's the kind of receiver, normally the kind of shotgunner. He needs to be that first defender out from the line out. What Munster do is we're just going to note CJ Stander there as well. He's going to come in and lift, and like as you said to me before, nothing revolutionary, but I think it's really well read. There's shot in behind, and Munster use that dummy movement again with Jean Klein there. It's easy to go up on him, but Nakarawa makes a really good read. But also, it's kind of difficult to see from this angle. Shat makes a really good read as well and gets in there to lift. So it's a one-on-one ball steal at the line out. So Munster denied that opportunity. But the point is just even the defensive hooker, the receiver, is making good reads.
That tactic of using a roving lifter, Stander could be a lifter or a jumper.
Yeah.
He's roving at the line out. The way to defend that is you mirror him. And that's exactly what they did. So when Stander came in to jump, they got into lift, and they were where the action was. And there you go. You know, that's a practically impossible ball to win because they've got somebody right in there of the jumper.
Yeah, and I think
it's good defence by Racing.
Yeah, at this stage, I think Racing were right in Munster's heads. Everything kind of started falling apart. This is a pretty simple one. They go to Jean Klein, and it's supposed to see Jack O'Donoghue coming in there to get them all started. But the play call seems to go awry. He throws down as O'Donoghue's committing into the maul, and it's a scrappy possession. So Munster again can't launch. You see Racing, they're so good at the breakdown as well, just slowing the ball down. And this is, again, back in the 22. O'Mahony goes to the front. They're trying to use that movement to kind of lure the Racing guys forward, but they stay in the middle. There's Ryan again. They don't buy that movement, and suddenly now Munster aren't really sure where to go. It's a kind of panicky situation.
They thought they'd pull a pod to the front on O'Mahony.
Error upon error. Marshall's waiting, and they just go to the front in the end. But it's a complete overthrow and another failing. And then just the last one, still 20 minutes in the game left, and still a chance to come back into it. But again, you have all these defensive line-out options, 5 guys in a full line-out. There's Ryan as well as Shuzanu, and they're covering everything so well, aren't they? They're just, you don't know where to throw to. O'Mahony calls this one on himself, but Shuzanu is going to get up just in front of him and get that steal, and that's pretty much the game over. Really disappointing one, but I guess, Eddie, again, on a strategic sense, if you're the coach, if you're Leo Cullen and building a line-out kind of menu for this, do you actively work at avoiding that confrontation in the air, or do you try to do something smart, or do you just go simple?
Well, no, I think they're going to change this. There's probably north of 70 different line-out options they have, maybe 100. And you never go into the game with 100 line-out options. You pick a block of them that you feel are going to work, and then the next week you change to another block. That block changes on the basis of that. You can't use the same ones as last week, and also the defence is going to be different than it was last week. So it's always changing. And I think, like, Leinster still have 3 very good jumpers: Ryan, Vardy, and Toner. And Toner, again, even if you know Toner's getting the ball, it's very hard to get up as high as him. He's so tall, he's got long arms. You know, so I don't think there's any problem with lineup. I think Racing might pluck 1 or 2, but I don't see the Leinster lineup being a problem because they've got, and it's a smart lineout. Leo knows lineouts. He ran lineouts. He knows how to run lineouts internationally and at club level. So it's going to be a very smart lineout. They'll call it well, and they have 3 really good jumpers. I don't think Racing are going to get much dividends there. And if they do, it's the same problem that Munster had, but I don't see it.